If your dirt bike runs bad and your first thought is to change jets, this video could save you hours of wasted time. After 15 plus years of tuning dirt bike carburetors, I've learned that there's 5 common things that can cause rich or lean jetting problems, and it not to be inside the carb that's the problem. Number 1 problem is fuel. First of all, is there enough fuel? Whether it's in the gas tank or in the carb, if it's not getting enough fuel, it's gonna bog out and run poorly. Seems simple enough, but sometimes you can't tell when the fuel's low in your gas tank and it makes it run terrible, and you spend minutes or hours trying to figure out what it is, but you just need to add more gas. But is the fuel fresh? If you have old gas, which is several months or even several years old, your bike might run terribly. It could be hard to start or have terrible throttle response and power. Maybe you rev it out and it's bogging or sputtering. This is because old fuel breaks down and often attracts water, moisture into it, and this makes the bike run terribly because it's trying to burn water, which doesn't ignite properly, so it's running often too lean from bad gas, or I should say old gas that's gone bad. But the third part is, are you using the right octane for your bike? I just covered a video on this here on using the right octane for your bike, but generally 87 pump gas works well on like a 4-stroke air-cooled bike like the CRF 250F, whereas 2-stroke or 4-stroke race bike, a liquid-cooled engine, requires 91 or 93 octane gas because it has a higher compression engine. Any more than that, and it's really more octane than you need unless your engine is modified. Reason number 2 why your bike could be running too rich or too lean is the air filter. Is it clean? It's really easy to go hours and hours of riding and not checking your air filter because you can't see it. It's under the seat usually or behind the side panel, and if it's covered in dirt, leaves, mud, debris, a mouse nest, not enough air is getting through it and to the engine, making the bike run too rich. This will typically make it harder to start when hot, and it'll sputter, especially when holding it wide open. You can get off and on the gas and keep trying that, and it might get a little bit better, but it just not get enough air to efficiently burn the fuel mixture. But the other part of that is it properly oiled? Now, if there isn't any oil at all on your air filter, if there isn't any oil on the air filter at all, you're more likely to suck in dirt and cause major engine damage in the long run. Because dirt, if it gets sucked in, it's going to wear out the piston, the rings, the valves on a 4-stroke so much faster. So you need a proper amount of oil on the filter, because that oil, it attracts the dirt sticks onto the oil which is on the filter. So you need oil, but if there's too much oil, it's going to be blocking too much air from going through it, similar to how there's too much dirt on it, so it's going to run richer. So how do you know what's the right amount? Well, you got to make sure that the air filter is inside and out covered in oil. You got to work it in with your hands, but if you can gently squeeze it and oil drips out, you probably got too much. And if you're unsure on jetting symptoms, you should grab my free guide. It's the 6 alarming signs that your dirt bike is running too rich or too lean. Click the link in the description below for that. Common reason number 3 is the spark plug. First thing is it fouled? Did it go bad? A fouled plug will typically make it hard or impossible to start. It'll be covered in black soot, maybe even wet or oily. And if it does run, your engine probably won't rev out very well. It'll sputter, especially at higher RPM, because the spark isn't hot enough to efficiently ignite and burn the fuel mixture. But the second part is you need to have the correct spark plug and heat range for your bike. Let's say you have a YZ125 that calls for a BR9 ES or EG spark plug. The BR9, that is the heat range of it, and if you go down to a BR 8, which is commonly referred to as a hotter spark. Maybe you're trying to compensate for rich jetting. Well, that hotter spark plug is going to cause the engine to run hotter, especially at higher RPM. The lower the number, the hotter the spark. So if you're riding at higher RPM, it's going to cause it to run lean and overheat more easily. I also cover the heat range a little bit more in this video here, but basically use the manufacturer recommended spark plug, and then if it's running too rich or too lean, tune the carburetor jetting properly. That'll give you the most reliability and power. Common problem number 4 is the throttle. And while this doesn't directly affect the jetting, making it richer or leaner, it can definitely affect how your bike rides and handles. So if you have a sticking throttle, so you turn the throttle and you let off, but it sticks or it's slow to go back, the bike's gonna wanna keep accelerating, which is really scary because you're trying to slow down, but the bike keeps wanting to go forward. But the other problem is when the throttle cable itself is sticking. So maybe the throttle snaps back properly. You open it, close it, and it snaps back nice, but when you turn the handlebars a certain direction, the throttle or the engine revs up, so you turn it right. This is likely due to a sticking throttle cable because it's pinched by the gas tank. Maybe you had the tank off, messing with the carb, and you put it back together, and now the throttle sticks when you turn the handlebars a certain direction. It's likely the throttle cable that needs to be rerouted correctly or just moved so it's not getting pinched. Reason number 5, is your carb properly secured? If you've been messing with the carb, maybe had it loose or off, it's really easy to make the mistake of putting it in the intake and air boot, but then forgetting to securely tighten down on the clamps. So if you can spin the carb on the clamps, it's too loose. And why is this a jetting problem? Well, because if it's not secured all the way around, air is going to be leaking in there, causing it to run too lean. It's getting too much air, so if you start it up, the idle might go crazy high till you shut it off, or it might have a hanging idle where it takes a while to settle back down. Make sure those carb clamps are secure, and also check for cracks in the intake boot, because if there's a crack, that'll also cause an air leak. But if you've checked all of these and they all check out, you got the right fuel, the air filter is clean and properly oiled, the spark plug is good, it's the right heat range, the throttle is good, not sticking, and the carb is properly secured, there's no air leaks, then I recommend working on the jetting. But where's the best place to start? Good question. I highly recommend starting with the air or fuel mixture screw. But if you're not sure what that is or where it is or how to adjust it, don't worry, I got this video here that shows if you have an air screw or a fuel screw and where it is. I'm Kelly Fagan from MX Hideout. Ride safe, have fun.